It's Talking Habs pregame show before every Montreal Canadiens hockey game, game preview, lineups, the Guess the Score contest, good hockey talk, and more. Get your questions ready with your host, Rick Seligman. Go Habs, go! Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. So we've got a weird hour to be doing this. 11:30 in the morning for a 12:30 in the afternoon game on Super Bowl weekend. It's also Valentine's Day weekend, which happens to be my birthday. So it's just a weird time. 11:30 in the morning, not used to doing the live stream, never mind a game. But here we are. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets in town to take on the Montreal Canadiens again. I was like last week. It's been less than 2 weeks since that happened previously. Montreal lost 6-3 to the Jackets. What else is new? There's big news for the Canadiens right now, and that is in the form of a new goalie. So let's check this out before we get to anything else. I have it right here. So first, we'll go over the situation, why there was no goalie announced or gone for, right, or acquired. So this is from Eric Engels. He writes for Sportsnet. Habs are in a jam they're trying to solve. Sam Montembeault isn't at 100%, which was obvious. He couldn't have been. That's why Primo was starting two horrible games in a row. And he might even still require wrist surgery. He's grinding right now. Jake Allen and Michael McNiven are hurt. I didn't know McNiven was hurt, so that's something I learned today. And no other goalie in the organization, blah, 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 has an NHL contract. They don't want to expose Caden Primo much longer. They want to give him a chance to find his confidence in Laval, but a couple of impediments. Without knowing if Price will return, they can't really afford to bring someone noteworthy in from the outside cap-wise. They could sign Kevin Poulin out of Laval, but they're at 48 contracts and need to have flexibility to absorb two more, if necessary, as they approach the trade deadline. So, a bit of a holding pattern. They're working hard with Primo to help him, and we'll see. And then it ends with, we'll add McNiven, pushing hard to return, and is the closest out of him, Allen, and Price. And then news broke that they made a trade with Minnesota Wild to acquire a goalie, Andrew Hammond. I remember him from the Sens when he first started. It was Hammer Time or something like that. He had a really good run, like as a rookie when he first came in. Maybe it was the playoffs. I'm not sure, but I remember him. And they gave up Brandon Baddock, who was you got to look at it like this, though. Baddock was a tough guy. He was a bit of an enforcer down in Laval. Primo could use that, so they gave up a little bit there. You know, I think this is good. Hammond's not going to save the day, except in that he's a body that's in the nets. He's capable. Don't expect big wins. So, I mean, as far as Tank being on, it's still on with a goalie like that being brought in. So that's good news there. And they needed to bring in a goalie. I thought it would happen yesterday. Didn't it happen today? Imagine we'll see him probably tomorrow in the game against Buffalo. Montreal Canadiens announced on Saturday that the club has traded Brandon Baddock to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for goalie Andrew Hammond. Hammond, 34, posted a 6-2-3 record in 11 games with the AHL's Iowa Wild this season, while recording a .244 goals against average and a .908 save percentage. The Surrey, BC native has played 56 career games over 5 seasons in the NHL with Ottawa, Colorado, and posting a 27-15-6 record. He owns a career goals against average of .231, along with a .923 save percentage and 4 shutouts. For a guy who didn't start that much, 4 shutouts actually stands out for the amount of games he's played. Hammond entered the league as an undrafted free agent with the Senators in 2013, that's the year, and made his first career NHL start against the Canadiens on February 18, 2015. So interesting that his first career start was against Montreal. All right, let's see who's here. Habs Guru, hey, buddy. I nailed it with saying the Habs need to acquire. I nailed it, except that I thought it was going to be yesterday. It is today. I hope they can get him in by tomorrow. So, yeah, but thanks. Appreciate that. Don't forget, guys, get your guesses in for the Guess the Score contest. If you guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game for either team, doesn't matter who you pick, you can get $10 directly into your bank account. Do I think Weidman from the Habs be traded soon? Weidman, I think, goes by the deadline. So I imagine if they have a deal where they need to put him in there, yeah. But by the deadline, Weidman, he's got to go because of his he's a UFA. I doubt to hang on to him, but he's going to be really cheap. So maybe they want to hang on to him. I don't know, but I kind of doubt it. They got a lot of young defensemen coming up that, yeah. Harry Rice, how's it going, Harry Rice? Don't like being up this early for the Habs. I don't like being on this early for the Habs, although the rest of my day's free after. I got some stuff to do tonight, so it works out a little bit. So I don't mind. It's just weird. Hey, Lucas, how's it going? Ah, that sucks, buddy. That sucks. You and Scotian. Scotian's had it for a little over a week. He's doing fine. It's not great, but it's not horrible being double vaxxed. You should be okay, and I wish you the best. Fingers crossed for you. Keep me posted how you're doing. But I mean, that sucks, buddy. But listen, better being double vaxxed and getting it than unvaxxed and getting it. That's what I'm gonna say. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Yeah, Lucas Hammond. Remember that he came in and he was just lights out for I don't know how many games, but he had like some kind of a streak going on. That's all I remember. So yeah, we got him. By the way, with the COVID, listen, eventually we're all going to have gotten it. Oh, that was the last comment. All right, so I will talk for a couple of minutes, I guess. We'll see and then I'm going to do the preview for the game. I've got a lot of stuff, and we'll go over that. I don't have any other news. There was nothing. It's early in the morning. It's hard to get a lot of news to gather right now. Eric, I got to assume the same thing, right? I got to assume that we'll see Monty today. We'll see Hammond tomorrow. Listen, even if he's not totally acclimated, what the hell, throw him in there. Does it matter if we win, even if it's Buffalo? I mean, does it matter? And you got to figure, not only for the reasons that Eric Engels wrote about, you gotta figure that this fits in for the tank, right? They're kind of not saying that, yeah, we're still tanking. So, you know what? In a way, I'm really happy to see this. I hope he doesn't get injured and we're looking for another one again, but knock wood. My head is made of wood. I don't know if anybody knows. So, yeah, I think it's a good move. They didn't give up much. And it took a contract. It took a contract away so they could add Hammond. So they still have their two contracts. I'm quite sure that's how it worked out. I'm sure Baddock was on the 50 contract list. Yeah, he has to be because he played a little bit this year, didn't he? A game or two, or he was up in the taxi squad or something. So he has to be on that list. Lucas, don't forget, Monty's got a wrist injury. He's not 100%. That was the reason why you saw Primo those 2 games in a row, because right? So fingers crossed for Monty, right? Because they're still up in the air about surgery on his wrist. So he's hurt. He's toughing it out, and we'll see what we get, right? They Habs grew. They called him the Hamburglar in Ottawa. What did he do exactly? He came in and he had like 5 games, 3 shutouts, like I think in a few games. Might have even been in the playoffs, but he had this spectacular start. Well, he has 4 shutouts, so I imagine that was it. That streak of shutouts are the shutouts that he has. So anyway. I remember him for that, and for that nickname, the Hamburglar. I couldn't remember it when I did the intro. I couldn't remember that was what they called him. Anyway, look, it's a good move. It's a good move for them. They needed a goalie. Amazing how many are injured, right? Everybody's injured except pretty much except Kevin Poulin in Laval. Right? McNiven's injured. Allen, Price. Primo, might as well be injured. And Monty's injured. All right. We're going by natural light, by the way, today. Is daytime. Natural lighting, the only light is those things. All right, let's get to the preview. And where do I find that? Right here. This is where you find it, Rick, where it always is. All right, so the game today, we got Columbus Blue Jackets, 22-22-1 for 45 points, 5th in the Metropolitan, against the Montreal Canadiens, 8-31-7. The only number changes with that seems to be that where that 31 is. 23 points, 8th in the Atlantic. How to watch the game today. It starts at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's p.m. 9:30 a.m. Pacific. So if you live out in the West, you're up early, been watching this game. In Canada, and I was surprised. I was hoping it would be on TV. It is, but not anything I can get. Sportsnet East, West, and Pacific, and 360. So it's all over the board there. TVA Sports in French. And I wonder if that's having Martin St. Louis as the coach. Is there some excitement for this game like that? It's on so many places there for Sportsnet. They usually kind of bury us. In the Blue Jackets region, Bally Sports, Ohio. Streaming ESPN Plus, NHL Live, Sportsnet Now, and hopefully on Sports Surge, or I'll get it on NHL 66. So that's a new one that I've discovered. Or someone, I forget who it was, but passed it off to me. So yeah, there you go. Betting lines for today. For the spread, Columbus minus 1.5, and you get a plus 165. Montreal plus 1.5, you get a minus 195. Money line, Columbus minus 145, Montreal plus 120. Over under is a 6 for the over, minus 120, and the under plus 100. Last 10 games, record 5-5-0 for Columbus. That's a 2-game winning streak, and 1-7-2 for Montreal. That's a 6-game losing streak. You could look at that and say, well, Montreal's due. So we'll see what happens there. Previous matchup, January 30th this year. Columbus and Montreal, at Montreal, 6-3 for Columbus. And they're playing today, and they'll meet again on April 13th in Columbus. Tail of the tape. Scoring chances for percentage, 45.6%. That's 29th for Montreal. 45.9%. That's 26 for the Blue Jackets, but that's pretty much exactly the same. Pretty much. Goals per game, 2.20 for Montreal, last in the league. 3.16 for Blue Jackets, 13th. Goals against per game, 4. And even 4, last in the league. 3.67 for the Jackets. That's 30th, so their defense is not as good. Power play percentage, 13.9%, 31st in the league. And 16.8, that's for Habs, obviously. 16.8%, 25th in the league. That's for the Jackets. PK percentage, 73.6% for Montreal, 29th. 80% for the Jackets, 16th. That's 80%. Is decent, pretty decent PK. Head-to-head record this year: 1-0 for Montreal, 1-0 for the Jackets. Face-off percentage, 49.1%. That's Columbus. That's 19th, and for Montreal, 47.6%, 27th in the league. Shots on goal for Columbus. They are shots on the net that they're getting is 29.5 because it's reversed. These are not the right numbers. Shots on goal allowed per game by them is 35.2. For Montreal, shots on goal that they are generating is 29.4, and that are generated against them is 34.4. And I don't know why NHL doesn't fix that on their bloody website, but they've always got it wrong, reverse. Okay, goalie today, Montembeault, 2-8-4, 396 goals against, 892 save percentage. On the other side, last game, I don't think it was Korpisalo or Merzlikins, am I correct? Anyway, I'm going to go with Merzlikins here. 16-12-1, 339 goals against, 904 save percentage. 2 shutouts, and if I'm wrong, well, what the hell? I'm wrong then. Players to watch, last 5 games for the Jackets, Patrick Laine, 10 points. He had 6 goals amongst that. For assists, Zach Werenski, he's got 4. And I'll give him a name, Victor. I don't know if that's his name. Gavrikov, he's a +4. For Montreal, Tyler Toffoli, 5 points. He's got 2 goals amongst those 5 points. Nick Suzuki has 3 assists in those 5 games. And Lehkonen is an even. Team leaders. For Columbus in goals, Boone Jenner with 19 for Montreal, Nick Suzuki with 9 points. Jenner again with 33, Suzuki with 28. Average time on ice, Werenski with 26.04, and it's the still unpictured Ben Sherratt, 23.18. You think by now they can get a freaking picture of him. And for wins for Columbus, Elvis Merzlikins, 16. And for Montreal, Jake Allen, still there with 5. And maybe they're still for a long time. The bottom 10 in this league, Columbus is the top of that list. Chicago, Islanders, Devils, Flyers, the Senators, the Sabres, tomorrow's opponent, the Kraken. And you got Arizona and Montreal rounding it out. And the reason the red is there is look at the points difference. There's a 5-point cushion for Montreal. But there's a 2-game in hand for us. So we got 2 games in hand. If we win those, we're going to win those 2 games. We'd only be 1 game behind them. But we're not going to win those 2 games. Current line. Columbus is on the road, so their away record is 10-12-0. Montreal's home record, 5-15-1. Record versus the spread, 24-22-0 for Columbus, 18-28-0 for Montreal. Versus over-under, 30-13-3 for Columbus, 26-19-1 for Montreal. Versus each other over the last 3 seasons, 3-0-1 for Columbus, 1-3-0 for Montreal. Last 10 games versus spread, they're both 4-6-0. And versus the over-under, 7-2-1 for Columbus, 9-1-0 for Montreal. Habs scoring. So it's mostly to show you it's Suzuki number 1, Toffoli number 2, Drouin, and then Lehkonen rounding it out. But there's 3 with 20-plus points. That's really bad writing because I got to learn how to write like that with a cursor. So that's 28 points for Suzuki, 26 for Toffoli, 20 for Drouin, who's out till God knows when. We don't know, till the sun comes up next month. I mean, I don't know. 19 for Lehkonen, so that's 3. So for the Jackets, you've got 9 with 20-plus points. Domi, just circled him because he has 21. He's doing okay. 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points in 35 games. That's a lot better. Good to see for Domi. So just to show you that they've got, they've got much better scoring than us. So you got Jenner, Voracek, Bjorkstrand, Nyquist, Werenski, Laine, Domi, Texier, and Roslovic. Those are all the guys over 20. Habs lineup tonight. Hopefully this is the lineup. I don't know. It's the same as the last one, I think. Suzuki between Lehkonen and Toffoli, Evans between Pitlick and Anderson, Byron, again centering Hoffman and Gallagher, Paling centering Armia and Caulfield. You got Romanov and Sherratt, Kulak and Petrie, Clegg and Weidman as your pairings. Monton both starting, Primo backing them up today. Tomorrow, I'm quite sure Andrew Hammond will be there, and Primo will be sent to Laval. Scratched. Paquette, good. Pizzetta, I don't mind seeing Pizzetta in there, and Laurent Dauphin. Injured, Allen, lower body, Savard, ankle, Drouin, wrist, and who knows when he's coming back. Dvorak, upper body, Perreault, lower body, Edmondson, the back. Columbus Blue Jackets lineup, Jenner in between Laine and Nyquist, Sillinger in between Voracek and Bjorkstrand, Kireli in between Chinakov? Is that like making fun of COVID? Chinakov? Anyways, Chinakov. Sean Kireli, Max Domi. That's line 3. Roslovic in between Wolanski and Gaunts. Werenski and Peak. Gavrikov and Boquist. Bayreuther and Kukan. Those are the pairings. And it says Korpisalo will be starting. So I got it wrong, I think. Carlson and Meyer are scratched. Injured are Danforth, left knee, Tarasov, lower body, Texier, hand, Jake Bean, lower body, Eric Robinson, lower body, and COVID protocol, Emil Bemstrom. And ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Game on! Game on. All right, let's get that out of there, and let's go see who's talking to me. Where was I? Are we the most injured and COVID affected of all teams in the league. I don't know about the injuries, but I think maybe. I know for COVID, yes. We've had the most guys out on COVID over the season than anybody else. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Hammond in 2014-15 went with the Senators, went 21-2 with a 179 goals against and a 941 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Funny enough, that was the year the Habs played the Senators in the first round. That's what it was, right? He killed us in the first round. And then he didn't do much after that, though. That's the weird thing, right? Like a one-season wonder. Hammond's nickname was the Hamburger. Yeah, we got that. Because he ate at a McDonald's hamburger a fan threw on the ice after a win in Ottawa. I just want to say that's disgusting. You know, the ice is full of spit and all. You know, they spit on the ice. You don't know where it is. Like, it's disgusting. Yeah. Okay, that's where his nickname came from. So we have maybe we just need that guy that gets down and dirty in the net. Listen, you know what? He's an average goalie. Did we really want a star goalie in there? Like, we want to bring Marc-Andre Fleury in there to steal games? Like, why? I think this goes along with the tank for this season, and I'm okay. I'm definitely okay with it. Eric, no pickles, please. Then what's the green stuff? I don't want to even think about it. Sorry, I shouldn't have said it. Anyways, interesting. So tomorrow's game becomes a bit more exciting. We want to see the guy and see what he looks like in net and stuff like that. So, yeah, it should be pretty interesting. So, talk to me, peoples. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to know? If I know anything, and if I do know anything, I'll pass it on. And if I don't know anything, well, what can I do? Hey, Bob Cannon, how's it going? By the way, what did you think of Scotian Canadian last night on the panel discussion? I thought it's always great to have Matt. He's so I just like the way he talks hockey. I don't know if there's any other way to put it. You know, I like his viewpoint. I don't always agree with Matt, but he gets it across well. And he's a really nice guy. Like, he really is a nice guy. He's a genuine Canadian man. As a Jew, well, I'm an atheist, but I mean, I just grew up a Jew. We call him a mensch. Yeah, definitely. Matt is a mensch. All right. Harry, I think the reason they didn't go for Khudobin was money. With what I did, I don't know if you heard what I or saw what Eric, like, if I get the words out, like, I won't stutter so much. Eric Engels, I still can't say. Eric Engels put out a thread on Twitter, and he explained that it's money is the reason why contracts. They didn't have enough contracts or money left. You know, they needed to keep a couple open spots for contracts, and cap space is going to be a problem. So this is, the guy's on a minimal salary. They traded out a contract, got one back, and it works. What took so long to do that is the question. I don't know. Like, this guy must have been available. Like, why didn't you find him last week? That's my only question. And I don't want to come down on Gorton and Hughes and sound like I'm not. But I'm curious, like, what their answer is, why they didn't do this last. Did they not feel it was necessary? Because that might have been it. Like, what? I don't know. I'm just curious. But not in a attacking way. Because I think to attack Gorton and Hughes right now is ridiculous. They've done nothing yet. Well, they've started to, and whatever they do has got to have time to, so, I don't see why anybody would be attacking them, but people are. So, but I'm not. I just want that clear. He definitely is pro Ducharme, but likes Marty. Who's that now we're talking about? I'm lost. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm lost on that for some reason. I wanted to make a comment about how much I enjoyed the round table. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Great to hear other opinions from some very sharp hockey minds. Yeah, like I really appreciate that. That man, and he's got COVID. So it's really nice of him too. And he came to me. It wasn't like I bugged him and okay, I'll do it. He contacted me and asked if I have anything up and do you want to do something together. And yeah, we figured this out in a couple of days. And really nice of him. And it was nice to bounce some ideas like that live off of somebody else, not just in the chat room or not just me and Matt. You know what I mean? It was really nice to do that. Haven't done that in a while, as we all know. But yeah, it was good. Game starts in 35 minutes, Jack. At 12:30 start Eastern Standard Time. Because of Super Bowl weekend. And the same thing is tomorrow, same bat channel, or I should say same bat time, same bat channel. 11:30 for the pregame, 12:30 for the game. I'm still surprised nobody got my reference. This is bugging me, by the way, of because I had two Matts as my co-hosts, and I've said it a couple times now. This is my co-host Matt and my other co-host Matt, and I've asked people, "Do you get the reference?" And nobody does, and it makes me think, how old am I? I know this guy's out here as old as me. You don't get the reference? I was curious. Does anybody get that reference? It's bugging me. Can you tell? By the way, give a thumbs up if you're having a good time watching me smoke and talk and go crazy as normal. And subscribe and ring the notifications bell. Why not? What you got to lose, man? I don't know how many new people are in here. If you haven't already done those things, obviously. Do I have it slowed down or something? Because I don't have slow mode on. So you can call me Ray, and you can call me Jay, and you can call me RJ. You can call me RJJ, but you doesn't have to call me Johnson. It's not from that. It's from a TV show. Bob Cannon. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Bob. I figured, Bob, I was looking at your name up there. I figured you got to be one that knows it. And you did. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't feel all alone anymore. Yeah, it's from the Bob Newhart show. I forget the guy's name. It was like a crazy neighbor or whatever. I don't know what he did there. And he had two brothers. And when he introduced them, it was, hey, this is my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl. And they were obviously kind of backwoods hillbilly types. But it was funny. And I just thought, that's funny. That's a dad joke. Jack, they do it every year. They do an early game, back-to-backs and early for the Habs. So the Super Bowl, it's not affected by the Super Bowl, and they don't affect the Super Bowl. Maybe if they were named Daryl, but still, well, it doesn't have to be exact. How could you not get the reference? Who's calling me? Oh, my son. Hang on a sec. I got to take this. Hang on a sec, James. I'm just going to mute for a sec, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Just my son asking me about We're going to celebrate my birthday tonight there because I'm going to be on the podcast. I'm going to be on podcast, Jofo Podcast on YouTube, Jofo Podcast, 9 p.m. Monday, my birthday. Please be there if you don't. Well, if you got nothing to do, if your sweetie doesn't mind or whatever, check us out. We're going to do with the family. We'll do that tonight. Bob, it doesn't have to be exact, right? Mature guys. Yeah, we're mature. That's what we are. Mature. Gray hair on our balls. Eric, I preferred the older one too, believe me, but still, it was back in the day where you didn't have like 1,000 channels to choose from, right? You had a few. So it was more back in that. Although there were more channels then, but still not like today. So you saw stuff that maybe wasn't my favorite Newhart show, but Bob Newhart was always good. BL, yeah, sorry with the. It's hard when you have a panel talking. Like me and Matt are used to being on there together and talking, and we can answer all the questions. Yeah, when I have a guest like that, I got to get used to being able to, or I need somebody to be able to read the questions and then pop out the ones that we're gonna, So I apologize to everybody that we didn't get to a lot of your questions. I really do, but yeah. Remember, Matt has COVID, and I also didn't want to keep him endlessly, right? He's got kids, he's got young kids, and I didn't want to keep him endlessly. So I do apologize. But listen, like he said, we'll look to do this again. He's going to try to invite me on his show one day soon, hopefully. And and so, there'll be opportunities for that. So. But it was still good to see. He's knowledgeable, and I like his ideas, and I like the way he gets them across. BL, that's it exactly. I wonder, because that was already a few minutes ago. Is there a delay on this thing? There shouldn't be. I did not put a slow mode or any delay on. If there is one, I do apologize. We got about 8 minutes to go before I take a break before the game. Matt not Matt Scotian, but our Matt may jump in the second period. He said he works today, but by the time he gets off and gets home, it might be around the second period. He's not sure 100%, but we may get Matt in later. As far as for tomorrow, no, he has early. I don't hope his girlfriend wouldn't be watching this. He has early Valentine's Day plans. So no worries. I'm fully capable here to entertain you guys with my lousy play-by-play. That was called Newhart, yes. The Bob Newhart show was when he was a psychiatrist. And the dentist was his friend there across, and they shared the secretary, which was Marsha Wallace. Can't remember his name. I know he's a director, although I think he passed away in the last couple of years, but he was Peter something. That was a great show. I love Bob Newhart. I was kind of working on some kind of thing. I didn't know what it was gonna be, but it was kind of about me. And I wanted to do an opening that was like that opening to that show where I, just showing me coming home. Than what I did when that kind of thing. And in my head, it was the Bob Newhart show. The Bob Newhart show, the opening. So yeah, I loved that show. I loved his wife. Oh my God, she was hot. Did I say that? I don't know. I didn't say that. Yeah, she passed away recently too. It's too bad. She was one of those early hot girls on TV. Early MILF. Am I right, boys, that know this show? And don't ask me why I'm blanking on her name, but I am. But she was an early MILF for me. Is that saying too much? Is that too much information? It might be too much information. I don't know. So let's see. What else do I got? We get to see Max Domi. Max Domi's doing pretty good. He had a rough start he kind of had a good start. Then, I think he had an injury and then COVID. So, jeez. Hang on, guys. Just for a sec. Yeah, I mean, I guess people don't figure out, oh, the game's on. Maybe Rick's on the air. Maybe. I mean, they all know me. Yeah. What do I think of non-NHL Canada-US hockey game last night? What do you think of non-NHL Canada-US? Are we talking about the Olympics? I didn't watch that. I was doing a show last night. Bob, yes, we have the Hamburglar. I gave them. I mean, listen, he's an average goalie, so I'm not expecting him to be like Marc-Andre Fleury. Fleury just came in, right? Not happening. Good move, right? They got to move Primo back to Laval. It's a goalie. It's not going to affect the tank. It's still on with a goalie like that, I would imagine, unless he comes in and he does what he did in 2013, which at age 34 is still possible, I guess, but I doubt it. So I think it's a good move. Hey, Dixon, thank you. Appreciate that. And I apologize that we weren't able to, really answer too many questions. I still have trouble doing that in a panel show situation. What was I going to say? I'm not sure, Bob, if you know the reason why they were not able to get. It took them a while to get a goalie, and why not a better goalie than this? Because they could have gone after Kudobin more than likely, right? But they have cap issues with a goalie that has a contract of unique substance, and they had contract issues in that they're allowed 50 contracts. They were at 48. They wanted 2 open leading up to the trade deadline. So they had to move a body to get one, and that's what they ended up doing. I still wonder why this kind of an easy deal wasn't there last week and could have been done then, only for the sake of Primo. I don't think I care that he might have won a game or two. Not really. Not this year. Anyway, that's my only question, and it's not a knock on them. It's not a criticism. It's just a question of I'm sure they have an answer and a reason for it, and I'm not going to think conspiracy theory out of that. I'm sure there's a reason why, but I'm just curious what it is. There's enough conspiracy theory driving this freaking country right now that I don't want to add to it in any way. Which is why I get on Renault, who's not here right now to defend himself. So I won't insult him or anything, but it's why I get on Renault with some of his comments. Because, and some of the other guys that start with conspiracy theory type stuff. It's like, we need that, really? We all know most conspiracy, 99.9999999% of conspiracy theories are full of shit. So, hey, Pablo, how's it going, man? Yeah, Primo is the backup today, but you got to think by tomorrow, down to Laval, they add Hammond, and boom. I just hope Hammond doesn't have to clear waivers and someone ruins that, right? That's all I think I'm worried if they sort of, because he's in the minors as far as I know. So if they acquired him and he hasn't cleared waivers, not a smart move if that's what happened. I don't know. That's what I'm saying just off the top of my head, by the way. Bob, there's so few. Who would have thought of this guy, first of all? But there's so few names out there to think of. That's I thought of Khudobin, right? And everyone's talking Khudobin. But yeah, I mean, this fits right in with the plan, right? So yeah. They, again, went outside the box and found somebody, an AHLer, and went that way. I just still say, like, why couldn't that have been done a little earlier to save Primo from those last 2 games? That's all. It's a minor criticism. Not one to worry, but it is one. That's a point to worry, to keep in the back of your head. So if things do go sour with these guys, the new management, I mean, it's still a possibility. You can go, it kind of, that was like the first sign that maybe something wasn't right. But I don't think that's what it is. Can't keep these goddamn things lit. How are we doing? Oh, yeah, I'm going to take off in a minute now. Yeah, BL, I know the roster. I don't know the roster really for the Americans, but I know the Canadian one. They did say that, Dixon. If you kind of read Gordon's face when he was getting that out, I think he admitted they could have done something, but it was a question of did they want to? And that wasn't the question asked. The question was asked, could they have? But you get the feeling that, yeah, he wanted to say, yeah, we could have, but we didn't really want to because of the tank being on, maybe, right? I got that feeling anyway. Oh, yeah. Who else is trying to get in touch with me? People. No, not a text. Yeah, so, anyway, is what it is. The point for me, the main thing is that I was just worried that they might. I don't think they can play themselves out of the bottom 10. I mean, I don't think Matt Scotian made a point yesterday saying he doesn't think they could play themselves out of the bottom 2. And there's a point there because it's a 13-point gap between Montreal and I think it's the Kraken that are ahead of Arizona. They're 8 points ahead of Arizona. We're 5 points behind Arizona. That's a 13-point difference. That's a lot of difference. With 37 games to go, or 36 now, I'm not sure. I think 36 now. That's a hell of a difference. They're not making that up. No. They're not. So they might, they're probably, no matter what, they're finishing no worse than, or no better than 30th, and that's a stretch right there. It is. I mean, 36 games for them to make up 13 points on a team is a lot. A lot. Would you guys agree with me or not? Let me know what you guys think about what I just said there. I appreciate it. Oh, you know what? Can't. I got to run. So ponder that, and we'll pick this up in 15 minutes at the hangout. The words just, I don't know. So I'll be back in 15 minutes. We got the live hangout. Matt might join us during the game. I'm not sure exactly when or if he will, but it's a possibility. And we'll try to enjoy it. Matt Martin, St. Louis' second game behind the bench. Let's see if the team has that same kind of a jump and excitement to them as they did the last game. I'm hoping for that. So it's at least a fun game. And yeah, that's it. So we'll see you in 15 minutes. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching on this Saturday lunchtime, I guess it is. And so I hope I didn't disturb your lunch, or maybe I made your lunch a little better. That's always a good thought. And see you in a bit. So thanks for being here. Stay safe. Peace out. And I'll see you in a bit. Bye, everybody. Now I just got to find my cursor. There it is.